Hello everyone. The Wargaming released this afternoon a video about new branch of German heavy tanks coming into game with update 2.4 early this September. And since the teaser for update 2.4 made me feel so I will be able to spend all my free XP I have to get these new line heavy tanks with a brand new mechanics ASAP, I think it's worth to find out what we can expect. So without a further ado, let's play the video. Okay,
Imagine
I am.
a versatile
Is it?
German heavy tank.
Not E100.
Sounds
right?
unlikely, doesn't it? But that's exactly what the heavy tanks in the
Okay,
new
there
German
he
branch
is.
are going to be.
What's that?
Their armor allows them to play on the front line with confidence.
It's very nice.
It reliably withstands blows thanks to that trademark German heavy survivability.
German trademark. Did you notice that this trademark is kind of vanishing away with tier 11 tanks in the game? Maybe this is why Wargaming is adding this line, right?
Excellent gun depression lets them make effective use of the terrain.
How much is it though?
And they're dynamic enough not to get stuck on one flank.
That's nice, we want to have a lively tank, sure.
Add to that accurate guns with superb handling and high penetration,
Okay.
and at your disposal will be truly versatile vehicles that
Look at those guns. So, does it mean that all the tanks will have the ability like tier 11? So, it will not be a specific ability for tier 11 tier only? Let's see.
can have their say in any combat situation. The path to the top will begin with the Pz.Kpfw 55.
Beautiful stats. Look at those hit points. 1848. Well, and if you put a hardening on it, you will get like, I don't know, 1950? Who does need so many hit points?
It's a reliable heavy that will serve as a great starting point and familiarize you with the new branch. High HP and strong armor forgive plenty of errors,
Yeah, it sure
helping you
will
feel
do.
confident even in the most tense situations.
Does Wargaming want to bring new people in? Because if you have more HPs and stronger armor and more penetration, the play is easier, right?
Moving further along the branch, you'll meet the Versuchspanzer 57.
Okay, I see some balance here, maybe. The penetration for APCR as a gold round is only 300, which is not a lot, but you have the ability of normalization angle, so it might be not that bad. The else was pretty standard.
Its 9 degrees of gun depression and sloped armor mean it really shines on hilly terrain.
Pop, pop.
At tier 10 awaits the Kampfpanzer 67, whose predatory profile fully matches its
Ooh,
nature.
whoa. Guys, I fell in love. You have 330 millimeters of penetration on heat round with pretty good accuracy and 10 degrees of gun depression. Wow, this is going to be
Retaining
monster.
and building on the strengths of its predecessor, it stands out with better dynamics, enhanced turret armor, and improved gun depression. And its excellent penetration with standard and special.
The animation on the heat pen looks very awesome.
And its excellent
Look at
penetration
that.
with standard and special shells, alongside impressive damage per minute, leaves its prey no chance of getting away unscathed.
Wow.
And finally, the Pz.Kpfw Neu. Classic German
Neu.
quality.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is insane. 280 pen on APCR round and 345 pen on heat as a gold round. Bloody hell, and it's without upgrades, without mechanics. Bloody hell. So you have high base damage per minute, then you have 11 degrees of gun depression. Wow, and of course a strong turret armor. Does the Wargaming slow down the battles? Because after release of update 2.4, imagine there will be several of these on each side, ditched down behind hills.
In
Wow.
its purest form. It's agile enough to react swiftly to changes on the battlefield.
Yeah.
The gun's great handling, high penetration, solid damage per minute, and 11 degrees of depression allow it to
Bloody
cause
hell.
consistent damage on uneven terrain. And the turret armor
Look at
and
that.
low
Look at that.
profile let it
Have you seen that?
and the
How small
turret
the
armor
silhouette
and low
is.
profile
How we want to hit the weak spot.
let it do so with minimal risk. The new German Heavies will be worthy additions to your garage.
Yeah, love it already.
The whole branch shares the same concept. Versatile, heavy tanks that feel equally at home causing damage and taking hits.
Visually, I think visually is a masterpiece.
And
I
play
love it.
effectively in the most varied combat situations. But there's one more thing they have in common.
Yeah.
The special devices on their guns aren't just for show. All vehicles in the branch are equipped with the shell calibration system, which lets you adjust shells' characteristics at any point in battle.
Any point, and it was like, how much was it?
Characteristics at any point in battle.
0.3 second. So you can use it at any point, and it only lasts 0.3 second.
To get to grips with how to use it
Well, why you pause that? I didn't do that.
effectively, let's start with a refresher on how shells interact with armor.
Okay,
For
some basics.
AP and APCR shells, it's not only the armor's nominal thickness that's important, but also the angle at which the shell hits the armor plate. The greater the hit angle, the greater the effective armor value, and the higher the chance of non-penetration or ricochet. Normalization partly helps offset an unfavorable angle. When the shell strikes the armor, it rotates a little, reducing the hit angle. For AP shells, the normalization angle is 5 degrees, and for APCR ones, it's 2.
Yeah, these are the basics of the game. If you have been wondering why your shots are not going through, definitely go check that out. Especially the differences between AP, APCR, and heat ones. By the way, I will do video series about basics of the game. So if you are struggling a bit, definitely check that out.
Heat shells have their own nemesis, spaced armor. They start functioning from their initial contact with an object and form a jet that quickly loses its penetration on the way to the main armor. That's why screens have such a big influence on heat shells' ability to penetrate.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Almighty. We are now informed.
And now on to how the new German tanks will be able to shake up the established rules. By default, the shells work as they normally do. You choose a target, fire, and cause damage. But the situation changes. Hitting the same spot with a regular shot doesn't seem effective anymore. You can look for an alternative, or you can switch
Armor
up your
flashlight.
approach. So you calibrate the shell. It
Okay, so if you use the ability, you will lose like... I think it's for tier 11, right? 450 alpha had tier 11. So if you use the ability, you lose 50 of damage, but you increase 5 degrees angle, normalization angle. So you have basically a higher chance of getting it through.
It's different capabilities. The damage per shot reduces a little, but the normalization and ricochet angle are tangibly increased with the same penetration. As a result, AP and APCR shells are now more effective against sloped armor.
Yeah, that's really, I think, usable, really much.
And for heat shells, calibration will raise the chance of piercing armor behind.
Okay, so the situation at the heats is opposite, right? Well, if you use heat and you hit the screen, you lose 5% per 100 millimeters of penetration. But with the ability, that loss is reduced. So again, you have a bigger chance of getting it through.
of piercing armor behind screens, thanks to a significantly lower loss of penetration between the screen and the armor.
It rocks.
Rapid switching will let you adapt your shells right away. As the situation in battle changes, so does your approach to dealing with it.
Well, actually, you don't need to use the ability here, you just want to switch to heat and it goes through.
But if your opponent exposes a weak spot, there's no need to throw away damage. Just stay in the standard mode.
Yeah. It will require some kind of feel when to use the ability to increase chance of the pan and when the standard mode will be better.
In difficult combat situations, the new German heavy tanks will be able to increase your chances of armor penetration.
Yeah.
Their shell calibration system lets you adapt to different opponents and situations. Causing slightly less damage is better than causing none at all.
Can't wait for that.
And that's the whole point. Soon, you'll be able to take these heavies out and that's the whole point.
Mr. Bean would say,
magic.
Soon, you'll be able to take these heavies out onto the battlefield. And if you haven't battled in over 60 days, just log in and grab a whole heap of goodies.
yeah, surely.
Premium rental tanks of tiers 8 and 9, a whole month of World of Tanks premium account, and lots more. More possibilities, more solutions, and even more German heavy tanks in Update 2.4.
Okay, I could not think what ability Wargaming will come up with next 11 tier tank, right? But this rocks, this really rocks. Although, also on the other hand, I would say that this would not be that useful if there was not armor flashlight, because without it, you actually don't know when to switch to the increased pen mode or when to use the standard mode and use more alpha damage, right? So this ability will definitely benefit from the armor flashlight, which kind of, I can't help myself, was introduced into the game to make it easier, right? But overall, it will definitely be interesting to see what this branch will do with the game. See you later.